Hey y'all, hey, it's your girl Ronnie Dior, and I am reporting live from the palace or my room. So, as you all know, your girl is the owner of the Dior Movement, which is a self care management company, and we also deal with individual counseling and couples counseling. And so, it would be, I would be remiss if I did not speak to you guys and talk to you guys concerning how you can practice self-care during this time that you are at home. I mean, I feel like it is the opportune time to help you guys get into it. And so I want to clear up some things and help you understand some things. And then I have some things coming for you that I know you'll be so excited about. So I want to do this video real quick to kind of put it on out there. So first of all, let me be I can't say transparent because I always am, but let me just give you my insight. So as this thing started to unfold, and we're talking about the coronavirus and this epidemic that has like taken over the whole entire circumference of the earth. It's hard to be a clinician and not see things sometimes in a clinical way. It is. It's hard. So for me, I see a call for health. And y'all like, of course it means a call for, no, boo boo. It's more than a call for your physical, washing yourself and making sure you're clean. To me, I see it on all levels of how right now it is the best time to be your most healthiest self. Let me explain. When the Dior movement talks to you about self-care, we're coming to you on 4 different levels. Okay, this is a holistic approach to self-care management, and that is your mental health, your emotional health, your physical health, and your spiritual health. All of those things are intertwined. All of those things have to come together. All of those dots have to connect in order for you to experience your best self. And these things are facts. These things are true. If you think that I'm lying, if you doubt me, have an area of weakness in your emotions, where you have emotional baggage that's keeping you from being great in this season right now, or keeping you from going ahead and stepping out on something, or for you going ahead and dating, or going ahead and trusting a situation, going ahead and trusting yourself and believing and making moves. And then you tie that thing back to the emotional baggage that you may still have, or some unforgiveness that's laying dormant there, or maybe your mental health, like you are progressing in life, but yet you don't speak well over yourself, or you don't think well over yourself, or there's some things that you immediately see the negative in. You can't really always pull the positive out of something. You know, one thing that I do say that people say a lot about me, which I actually am very so thankful to God that He gave me ability to do, is that I am a cheerful person. They don't, if I'm down, they know I'm down, because it's not often that you see me on the low. And that's because in all situations I've learned how to maintain peace and joy. It's not been easy, you know, but I've that's one skill, that's one characteristic that he put into me when he was creating me, and that was to be able to pull some kind of positive. I'm even trying to pull a positivity out of this situation, and you will see it by the time I get to the end of it. So if you don't believe that you have to have your mental, emotional, physical, and spiritual all working together in order to practice and exude a healthy lifestyle, think about the times when one of those things was out of sync, and then how you felt, and what you were thinking, and what you went about doing, and how things started to work out. But then when you started focusing on getting those things all together and in alignment, how things started shifting and changing and started working out around you. Okay? So I need you to realize that by us being under this like self-quarantine, and then now some of us being under a legislative quarantine where they have started to shut down things, it is providing us 3 things: time, space, and opportunity. All are truths. All are facts. Why? Because before you like, I ain't got time for self-care. When am I going to fit it in my schedule? And when am I going to be able to? You have time now, don't you? And for those who work from home, you still got time, because the ability of working from home is that you can actually carve in those little pieces of time, and you don't have to worry about getting up early to catch that traffic, morning traffic. You don't have to worry about that commute home. When you're done, and now your day gets ready to start. You don't have to get up at 6 because you have to be at work by 8. Now you can actually get up about 7:30ish, okay? Or still get up at 6 and do some self-care stuff in that time frame. Okay, so your time is now there. And then the time you can spend giving to your family as well as giving to yourself is now been put into place. Okay, space. Some of us are limited on space in our house because now that everybody's home, you're like, now space is one thing I don't have, but you can be creative with your space, because I guarantee you right now, you're being very creative with your space. I guarantee right now, especially with the social distancing, that's creating space. That is creating time for you to be untouched and unbothered when you need that little moment, okay? We're figuring that thing out, and we're coming to figure out even day to day how to do it even more, and then finally opportunity, which is to be able to work out that you're capable and you're able of applying these things and doing these things. But sometimes it causes us, and sometimes it takes us to a place that we have to think outside the box. Sometimes we can't stay in our own way of thinking and processing stuff in order to figure out how we can get those same things accomplished. Sometimes we got to think outside the box. So the Dior movement is going to help you think outside of the box, because just like the Lord's, I wish too that you shall prosper, even as your soul prospers. I do want these things for you, and I'm going to show you some ways that we can do that. We can tap into those things. I'm going to be posting just some posts. I may be posting some short videos, or I may go live and actually do some things. But what I am going to do, I'm going to make sure that I'm hitting those 4 points for you. Mentally, how can you be practicing self-care right now? Emotionally, how can you be practicing self-care right now? Spiritually, how you can be practicing self-care right now? And physically, how you can be practicing that level of self-care right now. So that in this season, in this time, you can actually learn how to take the first steps and get in that thing, and then how to maintain that thing when it's time for us to go back to where we first started, back at work, back to school, back to living life and doing all these things outside of the home, outside of the structure that you've been confined to. I need you to maintain it. And the only way that you can maintain what you're doing, what I'm going to teach you to do now, is through mindfulness. You got to get into mindfulness. You have to tap into mindfulness. You have to understand that mindfulness, yes, I'm going to flip the page and make sure that I'm giving it to you right how I have written it. Mindfulness is the idea of being intentional with what you're doing. It is the idea of being in the moment with what you are doing. It's not having your mind wander over here while you're trying to be focused on this thing. No, it's bringing your mind into focus. And when it starts wandering like it normally does, sometimes you bring it back. You ground yourself back to the thing that you're working on. You're staying focused with what you are doing. You're so focused, you're in tuned to the point where, and we're going to get to this point, to the point where if you have eaten something, and then all of a sudden later on your body starts feeling a certain kind of way, you can kind of pull back to what it was exactly that you ate that made you feel, like free and flowing, and you got the energy, and then that thing that kind of make you sunk down and just feel like, Or you're so mindful that you understand how certain things trigger certain emotions. So you know what to keep away from sometimes, and you know what you need to tap into sometimes if you want to pull and evoke out other kind of emotions. You're so mindful that you understand that certain conversations, create certain things to start transpiring in the atmosphere, because whether you want to believe it or not, words have power and words call things into being. Okay? Which is why you have to speak well over yourself. Because if you keep speaking negativity, then you're going to keep seeing negatively. And so if you want to start seeing things through a positive lens and through a positive filter, you have to start speaking those things positively that may start filtering your atmosphere and start changing the things, the way that you absorb information and the way that you absorb what's going on. Yes, a lot of the things that we see and watch is going to be a negative because it's sometimes our reality. With the world we're living in right now, this is a negative thing that is happening, but you can also see it from a positive aspect by saying not what is being taken from me, but what is being given to me during this. And I guarantee you right now, what has been taken is your ability to roam free outside. What has been taken from you, for some people, is your physical health and your well-being. What has been taken from you is your peace, because some of us are living in a state of, I don't know, anxiety, stress, and fear, right? That has been taken from you, a place to go and worship. Some people feel like the building, yes, has been taken because you can't, because of social, gathering. But what has been given to us is another creative way to still gather for worship, because we are streaming. Okay, it is given to us the understanding that, church goes outside of those four walls. Church is wherever you are because the church is in you. Okay, you can always tap into it at any point in time as long as two or more are agreeing and connecting, and that can literally be through the video. Right now, you're touching and agreeing with me. Hello, it has given us family because now you're stuck in the house with them. It's giving family time back. It's giving spousal time back because now you're with your spouse. And if you are home alone, it's still giving you time back to focus on the things that you may have neglected. It's giving time, if nothing else, for you back. Because how many of y'all are now enjoying your late nights or your late early morning get-ups? How many of you, like myself, is starting to lose those little black rings around their eyes because they're getting some sleep? How many of you doing that? How many of you are able to realize that you've not been putting on makeup because you ain't got no place to go, you ain't got nothing to do, but somehow your skin is starting to do this glowing thing because it's not blocked, and you ain't have to keep, you're able to moisturize and you're able to let it breathe. How many of you are, there's so much stuff that we're getting back that I want you guys to see that and not just see what's being taken, because we can always look and see the negative in a situation, but I want you to try to affix yourself to the positive in a situation, and what you're going to get back in this is your self-care. You're going to have your self-care restored back unto you. And so what I want you to do is I want you to be on the lookout for my posts, for my videos, and for my live streams. And somewhere in this, maybe in about a week or two, I'm going to do a watch party for something big that has transpired in my life. I don't want you guys to be a part of it. And so that is also what I want you to be on the lookout for. So when you see Ronnie Dior, or when you see a tag from the Dior movement float across your little Facebook screen, float across your little Instagram screen, I want you to pay close attention, because Ronnie Dior is trying to do nothing more than do what she is called to do, and that's to be obedient to the calling that's on her life, and that is to be this clinician that I was called to be. That is to be this entrepreneur who's out here giving y'all self-care management tips and help and consultation. That is, I almost said the other thing that I'm not supposed to say yet because I want to surprise you guys with it in a week, so I'm going to hold off on that one. But she's also out here doing that too. And also the podcaster. And if you guys haven't gotten into the podcast, please tap into those podcasts, because those are messages that I'm trying to help the people with as well. There are so many parts to me that when it all boils down to it, they have one thing in common, and that is to help the people, because that is who I am. And that is what I will continue to be, and help you I will continue to do. So be mindful, be watchful, and stay tuned.